Hi friends, welcome to our channel. In this video, we are going to discuss about what is wrapper classes in Java. Actually, in Java, we have a wrapper classes. So by default, all the wrapper classes are from java.lang package, and by default, all the wrapper classes are final class. So which means since it's from java.lang package, we no need to import wrapper classes when we are using in our program. And by default, these wrapper classes are final. So which means I cannot inherit these wrapper classes. So there are 8 primitive data types. Like we have a byte data type. For each data type, we have a separate wrapper classes byte. For example, for byte, it is byte, and short is a data type. And for short data type, we have a wrapper class called short, and same way int, the wrapper class is integer, and same way for long, we have a wrapper class called long. The same way for float type, the wrapper class is float, and for the double type, the wrapper class is double. And same way for char data type, we have a wrapper class called character, and for boolean type, we have a wrapper class boolean. So finally, we have 8 data type. Same way we have 8 wrapper classes in Java. So by default, all the wrapper classes are from java.lang package, as well as by default, these wrapper classes are final class, which means I cannot inherit it. So now we will be getting a question. What is the need of this wrapper class? It's very simple. Let me take a primitive type, let it be a equal to 10. For example, I'm taking an integer variable. So if you want, you can take any type of variable. In case, in a particular situation, if I want to convert this primitive type into a object, so then I need to go for the wrapper class. So finally, with the help of wrapper class, I can convert a primitive type into object. If the primitive type is int, then I will be going for the relevant wrapper class called integer. The same way, based on your type of variable, you will be selecting your wrapper class. For example, I'm just going with int primitive type. Since it's a int primitive type, I will be using a wrapper class called integer. Let me say object one equal new integer of that particular primitive variable name. Finally, you can see in the first line. In the first line, int a equal to 10 is the primitive type. But when it is coming to the second line, I'm converting this primitive type into object. So this one will called as boxing. I mean primitive type to object will called as boxing. The reverse, in case in a particular situation, if I want to extract the value from the wrapper object, so then I can invoke the relevant instance method. So now it's a integer wrapper object, so I will be using a method, sorry, I will be using a method int value. This one will call as unboxing. Finally, based on my data type, I will take my wrapper class, and with the help of wrapper class I can convert my primitive type into object. So that I will call it as boxing. The reverse, in case if I want to extract a value from my uh, wrapper object to primitive value, so then I will be using a relevant instance method. Since it's a integer wrapper object, I'm using a method int value. So if it is a float object, then I will be using a method object one dot, I mean the object dot float value. So based on your object type, you will be using the instance method. So this is up to JDK 1.4. From JDK 1.5 onwards, I can use old syntax, as well as they are providing a new mechanism. Let me take a variable int c equal to 10. Let me take object 2. Directly I can assign my primitive variable. So finally, from JDK 1.5 compiler onwards, it will support our old syntax, as well as without using new keyword. Directly you can assign your primitive value to the relevant wrapper reference. So this one will called as auto boxing. Automatically it is converting primitive to object without using new keyword. So that's why I will say it's a auto boxing. The same way the reverse, if I want to achieve, or if I want to extract a value from the object from JDK 1.5 onwards, directly I can assign. Automatically it is going to make a unboxing. So that's why I will say it is auto unboxing. So this is about wrapper classes in Java. So now definitely you will be getting a question. Why should I convert primitive value into object? Maybe in our upcoming videos, we will discuss about collection concept. In case of collections concept or inside collection, I can store only object. So the collection is a object oriented one. Inside collection, I can store only object. So, which means inside collection directly I cannot store primitive values. So, if I want to store a primitive values into that collection, then I need some mechanism to convert this primitive value into object. So that time this wrapper class is required. So anyhow, in our upcoming videos, definitely we will discuss about collection. So that time you will come to know how this wrapper classes are useful in case of collection. So hope friends we are clear about what is wrapper class and what are the wrapper classes in Java, and how to use wrapper class to convert primitive into object, and same way object to primitive. Thanks friends for watching this video. If you like this video, please subscribe and click on the bell icon, so that as soon as I upload a new videos, you will be getting the notification. Also, you can share it to your friends.